Video game mayhem. Chris Collins and HenricK, the rat bring the chaos. Gaming news and industry talk, they got it all. Rage quitting, head banging, it's a metal bro. Mental meltdown, gaming in flames. Chris and HenricK bringing the thunderous rage. Video games and viral content. Barricades, ripping through pixels, the ultimate game to get alive. The ultimate. Rave over, I'm feeling the rage. Chris Collins and HenricK on the stage, talking gaming news. Industry that can't escape, we're reviewing video games. No need to debate. They bring the heat, spitting truth non-stop with fiery words. They're ready to drop, making waves in the world of video games. Collins and HenricK, they don't play no games. From console wars to DLC scams, they expose it all, making sure no one jams. The audience fired up, ready to explode. When rage quits on, you know it's a code. You know it's a code. When rage quits on, you know it's a code. Rage quits. Rage quits. I'm losing my mind. Chris and HenricK, they're talking gaming all the time. Rage quits. Rage quits. It's a love-hate affair, but I keep coming back and nothing else to compare. Rage quit. It's a love-hate affair.
What's raging, gamers? Welcome to Rage Quit Video Game Talk Show. How you doing, fam? I got a great jam-packed show for everybody that wants to know everything about gaming news, industry talk, and so much more. But before we even begin, I just want to go ahead and just showcase this beautiful QR code for anybody that hasn't liked, share, subscribe to my notification or to my YouTube channel, and then go ahead and hit the notification bell. A little bit of a mad lib there. That's where you can find me. What are you waiting for? Go ahead. Let's get it, baby. But man, this is going to be crazy. I got a lot to unpack, but we always like to start off the show with the bang and show you guys a lot of viral content that is circulating all across the World Wide Web. So let's get it. Fortnite just banned John Cena's hips. Yeah, the peaceful hips emote is gone, deleted, and sent to the shadow realm of Fortnite cosmetics for now. Why? Because the latest episode of Peacemaker decided to pull the rug and go, Surprise! This wasn't Earth 2, it's Earth X, the Nazi one, with swastikas on the US flag. Fun twist, huh? But suddenly, those goofy John Cena dance moves in the opening credits, the ones we all thought were quirky, yeah, apparently they kind of resemble swastika arms, which means kids in Fortnite weren't just flossing, they were doing a fascist TikTok routine. Oops. And yeah, Epic Games, caught completely off guard, tweeted, "We're disabling the Peaceful Hips emote in Fortnite as we acquire into our partners' creative intentions in this collab emote. Assuming it's not coming back, we'll issue refunds in the next few days. Sorry, folks." And here's the kicker. James Gunn, co-head of DC Studios, hasn't said a single word about it yet. I mean, silent. You know, it's really bad when you go silent like that, when a man who made a talking raccoon emotionally compelling suddenly goes mute over John Cena's dance. So the question is, and I gotta just throw it back at y'all, is this really some sinister coded dance move, or are we all just projecting way too much onto John Cena's choreography? Let's take a look at it and decide if Fortnite was right to lock the hips, or if this is just the dumbest cancellation of 2025. Let's go ahead and take a look.
Thought it was the stupidest thing. Dance sequence was written in the original script of the original episodic, and it was written as you see it. Like, we go through this crazy collaborative dance where we have no expression, and at the end we're breathing heavy, and you still see no expression, and Eagerly swoops in. We filmed it for 2 days, and we thought it was the stupidest thing. And everybody was like too cool for school, but they eventually got some takes where we all got along, and we all did practice. We all did this stuff. Season 2, man, you could tell the new members of the cast showed up and be like, "This dance thing, what is this?" And the season 1 members of the cast like, "Yes, the dance. All right, I got my moves, I got my thing. You're good? We're good? All right, we're good. We're great." So I really appreciate you guys enjoying the dance so much, because gosh, we put our heart and soul into season 1, but man, did we prep for season 2. We got a new song and dance, and I hope y'all like it. So it's coming up pretty soon.
Did John Cena get finessed by co-head of DCU Studios, James Gunn, into doing some, like, I don't know, Third Reich dance for TikTok and for season 2 of Peacemaker? Do you truly believe that? Was there like this hidden innuendo, Easter egg in the dance? Well, a lot of gamers took to the internet to express what the hell is going on with this situation with the following. There you have it, folks. You decided to put your full trust in him. I tried. I could have stopped this. No, Superman, don't do the Peacemaker dance. The show is R-rated and not meant for kids. I guess Lex Luthor has been trying to warn us against these metahumans, and apparently he's been trying to warn us about this secret door that leads into a very naughty, naughty place. Do you still buy that this is something that DCU with Warner Brothers finessed Epic Games into putting a Nazi dance into Fortnite? Epic Games, after removing Peacemaker emote, but not the emote by the murderous pedophile. Oh, man. Yeah, you might have heard of him. David. Does that ring a bell? Or what about that Tyla dance? You know, the kid that always hangs out with Kai Cenat? Doesn't he have that song in the background from a guy named Kanye West or Ye, who has that really awkward song we're not going to repeat on air? But yeah, he's the kind of the dumbass that actually came out and said that he supports the Nazi movement. Oh yeah, you know that guy, Ye? Why haven't they barred him from being on Fortnite? But this dance, I guess that's where it crosses the line. It's a little too visual. And then, we got to go after Monster Mash and the Switch Step guys if it's very Nazi-coded. Yeah. I mean, if I see Bad Bunny at the Super Bowl and his backup dancers are swaying their arms opposite like that, am I not understanding something? Am I missing something here? But what's even more wild, right before I came on air, Fortnite put out a statement about the whole Peaceful Hips emote controversy. And let me tell you, this thing reads like the world's weirdest corporate breakup letter. And so let me go ahead and show that here live on air. They said, and I'm paraphrasing here, we worked closely with our partners at Warner Brothers Games to confirm that no, we did not secretly design this dance to connect with the current Peacemaker storyline, but just in case, we're still gonna change it next week. Hey, if you don't like it, you can return the emote, no ticket required. Like, that's not PR. That's like telling your partner, I swear I wasn't flirting with the waitress, but just to be safe, I'll never eat at Chili's again, okay? And it's wild that they took something that was a non-issue, made it into something that was very official, very Fortnite issue. Like, congratulations, you just patched a dance move. Crazy. Crazy to think that this has become an issue, but a rated teen game with proximity chat isn't. You know what I'm saying, fam? Like, doesn't that come across a little weird? What do you have to say about it? Do you feel like there was creative intent in the dance from DCU Studios along with Warner Brothers? Are they all finessing us? Are you still going to dance along? Let me know what's good. So Call of Duty Black Ops 7 just revealed one of their new kill streak rewards. The Gravemaster. Sounds less like a weapon and more like a band your dad saw at a biker bar in the 80s. And in this viral clip, two-time Call of Duty world champion Simp is out here showing it off like it's the second coming of the Cold War. It's a sniper rifle with the thermal scope that can shoot through cover, and you can call in a napalm strike. Yeah, because when I think of sniper rifle, I definitely also think bonus flamethrower from the sky. But let's be real. How is this any less fair than calling in an attack helicopter or a carpet bombing half the map? I mean, some of the Call of Duty games literally let you drop a tactical nuke, an actual nuclear bomb. And at that point, balance is just a myth, right? But maybe this is just a baby boomer moment that I'm having, but I liked kill streaks when they were simple. Back in Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, you had a UAV, airstrike, helicopter, and dogs. That's it. Not press right on the D-pad to launch a global thermonuclear war. Now, every time I spawn, I've got 3 different players bullying me from orbit while I'm just trying to reload. And look, even if I did get my hands on the Gravemaster, it wouldn't matter. Some 12-year-old would just bunny hop around a corner, no-scope me, and then teabag my corpse before I could even aim down the thermal sight. So don't worry about me breaking the game balance. I'm basically target practice. Anyway, enough talk. Let's take a look at the clip that's been blowing up online.
Rainmaker.
Hey, if no one just show me, just let me go. Hey!
Small hands.
That bitch. Got the people you know me. Alright.
This is insane. I don't know what I'm using now. This is G8, you think? I got another one too.
Hey!
No!
Does that look fun to you? Or is that a little too OP? Like, that's like, I don't know. I don't know what to make of it, but I know gamers around the world, when they saw that clip, they were reacting worldwide. And let's dive right on in. No way you see this and think fun. Yeah, I don't know about all that. I think that's kind of whack. I mean, I can understand why so many gamers have been calling for Battlefield 6 to like kind of revive this new reemergence of what combat warfare can mean to a lot of gamers, because everything's gotten a little bit too nutty, like a Battlefront situation. This ain't Star Wars. We're in combat. And so you also get, well, Battlefield 6 it is. Are we all solidified? Was this like the last final straw? I've had it. I don't want to see any more updates. No more quirkiness. Unless it's a legit thing that the U.S. government has for their comrades, then maybe, just maybe, I can buy in to the thermal sniper. And then last, a sniper rifle with wall hacks can one-shot through walls. Wow. Yeah, this would probably make me not pay full price for the video game on day one and maybe just immediately jump on to Xbox Game Pass. Test it out there, and if I really want it, I guess I'll have to pay another $30 a month on the Ultimate, which we will be covering later on in the show, just to be able to play this Black Ops 7 video game. Crazy, right? Totally insane. So will you be jumping in on day one? Is Call of Duty Black Ops 7 calling your name? Let me know what's good. But let's start to transition, because here's the thing. Whenever a brutally difficult game comes out, normal people like us are just trying not to throw the controller through the TV. Meanwhile, there are those players, you know the ones, speed running it in record time or beating the game in some absurd way just to make us all feel like we've wasted our lives. Case in point, after conquering Elden Ring, Twitch streamer Dr. Dupe is now tackling Hollow Knight Silksong. Yeah, the one that everybody's been hyping up as a potential Game of the Year winner. Well, he was using a saxophone as a controller. A saxophone, because apparently keyboards, mice, and gamepads are just too mainstream. And get this, he's not just playing easy stuff. No. This man took on Path of Pain 2, one of the hardest platforming sections in the game. Most players struggle to finish it with a regular controller, but this guy, man, this guy, he's up there like Kenny G with a death wish. It's even better because it's electronic sax, so every button presses is like, playing a note, right? So, which means Hornet is basically dodging spikes to the beat of her own improvised jazz solo. It's like watching a boss fight choreographed by Miles Davis. And when he finally makes it through the gauntlet, he lets out this big sigh of relief like he just finished performing at Carnegie Hall for bugs. So the internet can't get enough, and you'll see why. Let's go ahead and roll that clip for anybody that hasn't seen the clip.
Let's go!
Can't you see why they call him Dr. Dupe? Man, he's making saxophone cool again. I absolutely love it. It's such a beautiful instrument. And shout out to him for doing something super innovative and different. Something that it doesn't get old. Never does. And so obviously gamers reacted to this clip with the following. This is the Silksong. Could you imagine if they end up making this series into a trilogy? And hopefully it doesn't take another 8 years to make it happen. But they end up adding this song, Dr. Dute's rendition, into the next upcoming series into the franchise. This is the Silksong. Doot, doot, doot. Oh, it's too funny. And look at, even everybody else has got it stuck in their head. Doot, 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 da, doot, 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 da. You gotta love it. And then, yeah, you know what? Maybe he's got to dress to impress. I'm assuming that's what I'm taking away from this meme. And also, if you've ever seen this GIF before, it's like there's a little bit of a pelvic thrust going on. Is that the kind of peaceful hips that we're all looking for? I don't know. I'm calling a friend here. Oh, man, you guys are so funny. online. But yes, this is Rage Quit Video Game Talk Show, and I can't thank you, the gamers, for always joining in live every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, because without your support, gamers, this show would not be possible. So let's go ahead and do one last shout out for the QR code. This is where you can like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss a live show. And I'm rocking the show solo today, but want to also give a huge shout out to co-host HenricK the Wreck. Go ahead and scan that QR code and you can follow him directly on his YouTube channel. But man, you, the gamers, it's starting to get fired up in here, man. The adrenaline's starting to kick in. The engine's revving up. Are you ready? Let's get it, baby. Let's go. We're going right on into some patch notes. What's good, listeners? Welcome to Patch Notes, where I discuss gaming news, industry talk, and so much more. Let's get it. September was so jam-packed with new releases that my backlog now looks like a DMV line on a Monday morning. I spent dozens of hours grinding through games, only to realize I now have to drop them like a bad Tinder date that just caught up with my October's lineup. I know. We're going to have to break it down. So first up, Ghost of Yote. Sequels are tricky. You either evolve and push boundaries or just repackage the same thing and slap on Deluxe Edition. But Sucker Punch is giving us something bold. The freedom to explore Mount Yote with guns, a new hero, and a multiplayer Legends DLC down the road. It's set centuries after Ghost of Tsushima, way after Jin Sake, way after the Mongols, even after Oda Nobunaga. Basically, everyone you know is dead, but revenge is eternal. This time, you play as Atsu, who's hunting down the samurai lord Sato and his generals for killing her family. Because nothing says lone mercenary who operates outside the traditional samurai code, tracking down old men with swords who ruined your childhood. She's not bound by the honor and the loyalty expected of a samurai warrior. Her story is a gritty revenge tale as Atsu seeks vengeance for her family's death. Let's go ahead and take a look. Just the visuals, the graphics, and the open world experience from even Ghost of Tsushima was fantastic. And I cannot wait to jump on to something that could arguably, is it a sequel? I don't know. If it's like 300 years later, do we define it as one, or is it its own standalone game? You let me know what's good. But it's still not, it's still under that exclusive window. So Ghost of Yote launches on PlayStation 5 on October 2nd. That's tomorrow. So yeah, go ahead and save on to your shekels because you're going to need it. You're going to want to play it on day one. Next, prepare for all-out chaos with Battlefield 6. Look, when it comes to the Battlefield, I mean, subtlety is not on the menu. This is pure, unapologetic spectacle. Yeah, the franchise where buildings are more destructible than my willpower on Amazon Prime Day. We're talking tanks crushing through buildings, jets dogfighting in the skies, and explosions so big you'll be screaming into a headset giving commands to your comrades. Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, do you hear me? Where's my squad? And so the destruction engine is cranked up, meaning if you're tired of being pinned down, just level the building. Problem solved. They've also introduced this cadensic, combat system, so now you can drag a teammate to safety, hitch a ride mid-fight, or lean around a corner of cover like you're suddenly become James Bond with military insurance from the MI6 because, you know, nothing says realism like healing bullet wounds by crouching for 5 seconds. I mean, isn't that kind of the joke that we have to say for them as well if we're going to clown Black Ops 7? But all jokes aside, okay? I can't wait to jump back into the anarchy. And yes, campaign mode is back with missions stretching from the Sahara Desert to the beaches of Gibraltar to defending New York from invasion. It's basically World War everywhere. So grab your controller, strap in, and get ready to lose friends when they steal your tank again. Let's go ahead and take a look at the mayhem. Are we still deciding that we got to hold off from the pre-orders? Are we all going to be launching in on day one? Is this going to really solidify the shooting genre for the best to come for future runnings? I don't know. You tell me. Battlefield 6 launches on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series XS on October 10th. And finally, The Outer Worlds 2, otherwise known as What If Fallout Went to Space, but with way more sarcasm. It's Obsidian's big sequel to their award-winning RPG, and it's bringing everything new. New crew, new colony, new enemies, new reasons to yell at NPCs who won't shut up about faction loyalty. Well, Obsidian is back, baby, and they've slapped 2 on the box just to remind you that there's more of everything. More planets, more weapons, more weird sci-fi food that looks like it'll give you heartburn, and you're like this agent from Earth trying to stop rifts from ripping apart the galaxy. No pressure, right? And like before, your decisions shape the story. You could be a diplomat, be a psycho, be a strategic mastermind, or just see how quickly you can get your companions killed. Either way, the colony will react to your choices, which means once again, I will be accidentally responsible for ruining the lives of fictional people. Let's go ahead and take a look. Did anyone else play the first one? It felt fast, but it was a lot of fun. I had a blast with it. I'm really anticipating that the world that Outer Worlds is going to give to us will be something very breathtaking and something very worthy. They've always got a very strong story-centric presence when it comes to their video games. I mean, they are pretty much the leaders in RPG. And you're not going to want to miss it. So The Outer Worlds 2 launches on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series XS, as well as a day one launch on Xbox Game Pass on October 29th. So yeah, there it is. October is stacked with heavy hitters. But the real question for gamers out there, if you only had time for just one out of the entire list, are you sharpening your katana in Ghost of Yotei, blowing everything to rubble in Battlefield 6, or floating through space with The Outer Worlds 2? And if I missed a must-play game, what's the one October release you'd recommend to everyone else? Let me know what's good. All right, it's time to start to segue because, oh boy, this has been blowing up on a world scale. So Electronic Arts, the company behind The Sims, Madden, Battlefield, and every microtransaction that's ever made you rage quit a menu screen, just got sold. So yeah, as you can see on screen, $55 billion gone. EA is no longer a publicly traded company. It's been bought out by a group of private investors. And honestly, $55 billion feels a little steep for a company best known for turning soccer into a slot machine. And this isn't just some random merger. I mean, when you look back, this is the second biggest deal in video game history, right behind Microsoft's $69 billion purchase of Activision Blizzard, which, by the way, feels like a bargain now. Like, oh, Call of Duty, Candy Crush, Blizzard, $69 billion? But now we got EA, FIFA, but not FIFA, Apex Legends, and Dragon Age, the Veilguard, which, by the way, nobody asked for. $55 billion? Somebody definitely got hustled. But I think there's more to this. I mean, when you think about it, officially, the move is being pitched as a chance for EA to innovate freely without the burden of public shareholders, which in corporate language means we're tired of getting roasted every time we release a broken game or another copy-paste sports title each year. So let's go ahead and go private where no one can see the train wreck in real time. But here's where things get complicated. The new ownership includes Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund, alongside Jared Kushner's equity firm. And while some folks shrug and just say, it's just business, others are raising eyebrows because the Saudi fund has been spending big across global sports and esports as part of a strategy to clean up their image. For many, that raises tough questions. Whether this deal is really about building better games or if it's more about building better PR. Think about it. Is that how you feel? Because let me remind you about something. Let's not forget, the PIF has already sunk billions into esports, reshaping competitive gaming almost overnight, which makes this acquisition feel less like a quirky investment and more like a power play to control the future of how and maybe where we game. And sure, going private could mean EA finally takes creative risks again, or, hear me out, it just means more free-to-play games that sucker you into paying more money to play a feature that should have already been included into the game on day one. Because nothing screams innovation like paying $14.99 to unleash the sewage waste of nefarious greed. And so, here's my question. Is the buyout the fresh start EA desperately needs, or did we just watch $55 billion buy the world's most expensive loot box? Let's go ahead and see what gamers around the world have to say about this massive seismic change with the following. To everyone that said EA couldn't possibly get worse, it just did. EA reached rock bottom and had to ask for help from people who know about drilling. Yeah, you know, the Saudi oil money, they got a lot. And I think it's also important to reference, too, Saudi Arabia with their PIF already had a 10% stake in Electronic Arts. Now they're going to be even more involved, which now that you get to captivate the NFL, you got the NHL, you also got college football. I also reported a couple weeks back that they did lose the bid to try to make a college basketball game, so there's a lot of moving parts happening. And if you can control the international physical sports outlets and turn that into a virtual space, when a lot of these kind of sports games are very much copy and paste, like when has anything changed in the last 10 or 15 years? They're absolutely loving life, especially if they start changing this to be on an Olympic scale. Think about it. It could be very, very massive for all three of these firms that are getting involved with Electronic Arts. Take-Two Interactive and to some extent Microsoft are now the only major American publicly traded video game companies left. Ubisoft is in Europe, and the remaining ones are in Japan and China. Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption is single-handedly keeping Take-Two from getting sold off, I think. How long do you think that's going to hold up? You don't think that Tencent from China is watching with a very, very close eye from one of their satellite dishes, making sure that, hey, once you guys do charge $100 for Grand Theft Auto 6, we'd definitely like to invest and play ball. You don't think that would happen? Do you think they will always stay American? I don't know. EA Sports. It's in the Middle East. You can't spell Middle East without EA. I guess it was just meant to be. It was right there in the print all this time. Holy cow. But it is kind of incredible to see that, founded in 1982, Electronic Arts is one of the world's largest video game publishers. It's just incredible to think that someone who got it started in Redwood City, or at least that's where the company is based off of, really created such an amazing buzz in the market. It's wild to see unfold. And yeah, I mean, just Electronic Arts alone generated nearly 75% of physical 2025 sales from live service revenue alone rather than new purchases. Okay? Oh my gosh. This is the slot machine that you just can't seem to get your grandma to leave the penny slots, right? I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I need a Tylenol. Nah, don't do it. And if I've learned anything about private equity, they'll bleed EA dry and ditch it when it's going bankrupt. I could see that and sell the IPs also to whoever wants them. Is that the actual strategy? What's also really wild is that JP Morgan is involved. They're placing a $20 billion loan in which all three of these firms would have to pay back, of course. And there's a lot of industry analysts out there that definitely believe Electronic Arts isn't going to have a hard time doing that, especially with how I've discussed in the past how the youth, the young adolescents, aren't wanting to pay $80 for video games anymore. They look towards free-to-play games, cloud gaming as the source of a massive catalog of video games to play. And so would they want to sell off the IP? Go bankrupt? I don't think so. I think this has more about dominating the landscape of esports, which, if you can control the sports genre, wow, you have an overall control about what's to come for competitive gaming. And also, EA selling to Saudi Arabia, and Jared Kushner's firm is about as most EA thing I can think of. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are definitely triggered and upset by this move. This was something that during President Donald Trump's first time around, Jared Kushner was a part of the administration. Jared Kushner was definitely under a lot of scrutiny for making business deals with Saudi Arabia during his time in 2017. And now we're kind of having this full circle moment where, again, they are partnering up to dominate the video game space, which, by the way, I just want to remind everybody, if you didn't already know this, video games dominates film, television, music, musical theater combined. This is the future of immersive cinematic gameplay. I mean, it's no different than you binge watching your show 10 episodes straight for 10 hours when sometimes a kid doesn't want to get invested on a TV show. Maybe he wants to get in front of a TV screen and get hands-on with the story. Make his own life choices. Yeah, I can see why they wanted to get involved with, purchasing EA. And then the last comment reads, remember all the times people here commented on how EA was decaying, how the unpopular executive decisions would come to haunt them in the long term, how they were destroying their IP, how they were losing their longtime fans. The list goes on. And now think about it. From the business point of view, in hindsight, every single decision was worth it, as it led to this massive cashing out for all big investors. Regardless of being correlated or not, it certainly didn't hurt, and worst case scenario, still provided short-term gains before the buyout. Yeah. Wild. Wild to think that something like this, with such a leveraged buyout could happen. Is EA still going to be the same that we know growing up? I don't know. But here's the big question. Did EA just get the freedom it needs to finally take creative risks? Or are we starting to watch, esports and gaming being used as the ultimate PR joystick? Let me know what's good. But all right, let's start to transition, get the cogwheel rolling, because this one, it gets real kooky. So, big news in the gaming world. Hideo Kojima is back on his horror kick. Yeah, we finally got the trailer for OD at Kojima Productions' 10th anniversary event. And in classic Kojima fashion, it was, how do I put it politely? Absolutely useless. I mean, there was like zero plot details, just vibes. It's like he made a trailer for a trailer. And if you haven't seen it, I'm not going to waste your time because it really doesn't explain much. You can watch it on your own time. But then again, I mean, being mysterious wasn't enough. Kojima Productions redacted text in the actual trailer. Like, imagine buying a book and then the first chapter is just black Sharpie. That's not horror. That's homework. But here's where Kojima is at his peak. You know how he loves scanning celebrities into games? Like, you probably have noticed it with Death Stranding, Norman Reedus, Mads Mikkelsen, Guillermo del Toro, to name a few. Basically, if you've ever been famous and had a face, Kojima has a hard drive with your cheekbones on it. Well, for OD, he's upping the ante. He wants to scan, wait for it, just wait for it, a ghost! Yes, an actual ghost, not a metaphor. Kojima straight up went ghost hunting with Microsoft because apparently Bill Gates looked around and thought, you know what this trillion-dollar tech company is missing? Poltergeist R&D. I can't make this up. And so Kojima was even quoted saying, quote, I want to scan a ghost for the first time and I want to get an award for it. An award. I'm just sitting here like, what kind of award are you talking about? Like the Oscars, the Game Awards, the Nobel Prize? And this year's Nobel Peace Prize goes to the guy who could finally get a ghost into Unreal Engine 5. There you go. There's your accolade. And when you go to check out the trailer during your free time, you're going to hear this like crackling sound in the trailer. And that's not a sound effect. He swears it was recorded in their studio, leading to the theory that Kojima Productions is haunted. Ooh. Which makes sense. I mean, if you're going to spend that much money making games, you're going to summon at least one vengeful spirit. And just to be safe, Kojima admitted he dragged Microsoft executives to a shrine. Yeah, a literal shrine. I mean, just to make sure that the character build wasn't cursed. So, somewhere out there, Phil Spencer is standing barefoot on sacred ground wondering how his life turned into an episode of Ghost Adventures. And so gamers wonder why video game budgets are ballooning. It's not the graphics or AI. It's shrine visits, haunted audio, and side quests to the afterlife. And so the question is, do we actually want Kojima to succeed here? Because if he pulls this off, the first haunted video game could literally haunt us. And do we want the next-gen graphics or next-gen exorcisms? I'm asking you, the gamers. And there was a lot of them that expressed their feelings online with the following. Least crazy headline about Kojima. I guess when you have FU money at this point, you can basically drag a lot of these major consoles, like Nintendo and Microsoft and Sony on a dog leash, almost on like a shock collar, into doing basically anything you want. I mean, how ludicrous is this? That's so dumb. And then good luck finding them. Uh-oh. Does this comment offend you? Do you believe in ghosts? And if you do, does Hideo Kojima, the man, to make this all happen? How do you feel about this? Will a video game company be able to dispel the conspiracies all along? Can he make it happen for OD? And here's his full quote from the article. Kojima wants to be so faithful to the horror genre that he not only went to some allegedly haunted places, to scan the environment, but also wants to find an actual ghost to scan. Quote, "For OD, I wanted to go around all over the world where there are scary kind of places," said Kojima at the event. "I want to scan a ghost for the first time, and I want to get an award for that." He also pointed out that the crackling sound in the trailer was recorded in the studio, giving rise to the theory that Kojima Productions might be haunted. Taking no chances, he admitted to visiting a shrine in order to ensure the game isn't cursed. "Maybe the ghost was there, but she's no longer there anymore," he said. "But anyways, that's why we went to the shrine together with Microsoft to make sure that we have a safe build of the game." What the hell's going on? I mean, you heard a lot of late night hosts making the joke about raptures coming and stuff like that. Is Kojima seeing something that we're all not seeing? What the hell is going on? And then, so an actual Microsoft representative had to go to a shrine with Kojima to check that there aren't any actual ghosts there. I'm not sure if I've ever felt honored to go or make the biggest eye roll of history for that. With follow-up comment that reads, "Free trip on boss card? Sign me the F up." And then a wild goose chase? Kojima style? It'll be a story for the grandkids, right? Why would you not want to literally go ghost hunting with Kojima? Pretty sure people would pay to do that, let alone be paid. Okay. Is that how we're feeling now? So it isn't useless spending on game development. Okay. And imagine if we got a confirmation of life after death, not from scientific study or a religious event, but from the world's most perfectionist video game developer trying to find real ghosts for his horror game. The ghost name is Paul Turgeist or some silly shit like that. And all of a sudden it quotes and goes, "See-through man." I can see that happening. That would be the ultimate troll moment. Oh, man. I think a lot of y'all would be pushing OD. And then the last comment reads, "I would be surprised if this dude just casually discovers ghost for his game." That's what I was thinking. I wanted authentic ghosts for my game, so first we had to overcome the small matter of quantifiably proving the existence of the afterlife. With another follow-up comment that reads, "Even funnier, if he made the discovery, got the scans, and somehow hid it all from the public until the OD credits roll." And then you see, as the credits roll, voice actors: Neighbor Boy, Jonathan Smith, Creepy Man on TV, David Johnson, Ghost, Agatha, the spirit of a 12-year-old Victorian-era girl murdered by her father who now haunts the basement of an abandoned hotel in East London. And then terrified woman number 3, Kimberly Cook. Oh, man. What's going on? Like, what are we doing here? But hey, Kojima's games are always pushing the boundaries, right? So I'll leave you with this, gamers. If he really does scan a ghost for his game, do we play the game or does the game play us? Let me know what's good. And yes, we have to discuss this because this is like one of the biggest breaking news happening today, and it just doesn't seem to want to go away. Microsoft has kicked off October with a real jump scare, a 50% price hike on Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. Yeah, it's the spooky season just got scarier. And no, that wasn't Michael Myers sneaking up behind you. That was Phil Spencer reaching into your wallet. I mean, forget haunted houses. Nothing chills your spine like seeing a subscription jump from $19.99 to $29.99 a month. And then that's not a treat. That's a trick. And as you can see from the image on screen, Microsoft swears it's all worth it. They've added Hogwarts Legacy, Fortnite Crew, Ubisoft Plus Classic, because nothing says value like bundling in a subscription you never asked for. It's like trick-or-treating, and then the house on the corner gives you raisins, right? I mean, hey, don't worry. It's healthier. Yeah, but it still sucks. And so Microsoft's excuse, they've added new features and some shiny new games, like I just said, Hogwarts Legacy, which, totally justifies me having to sell a kidney to play it on the cloud. And then there's the cloud gaming upgrade. Microsoft promises better performance and shorter wait times. And thanks, I guess. I mean, that's like Dracula promising not to bite too hard this year. What does that even mean? You're telling me $1 trillion company with data centers around the world, with an average data center containing over 1 million miles of fiber optic cable, with some facilities, such as the one in Quincy, Washington, the size of 10 football fields, couldn't guarantee stable streaming without making us pay more? Does that make sense to you, gamers? Like, it's just insane. So, of course, to make this all feel festive, Microsoft rolled out 3 shiny new plans: Essential, Premium, and Ultimate, which sounds less like gaming tiers and more like that Spirit Halloween membership program. And at this point, every Xbox announcement feels like a slasher villain creeping closer. And let's not forget, this is the same company that just tested the waters with $80 games, then backtracked when the mob grabbed their torches and pitchforks. Oh, and they're selling a handheld for $9.99. And at this point, Xbox isn't just selling games, they're running a haunted mansion, or maybe just a carnival where the ticket booth keeps raising the price while you're still in line for the Ferris wheel. I mean, it's crazy. And so now Microsoft says Game Pass brought in nearly $5 billion this year. So if it's such a monster hit, why are players the ones being haunted with higher prices? So here's my question to you, gamers. Are we paying for a sweeter bag of candy, or is Microsoft just wearing a mask while it steals from our trick-or-treat bucket? And oh yeah, you can only imagine gamers around the world had a lot to say about Xbox Game Pass price hike with the following. This one reads, now it's just cheaper to buy the games of theirs you want. A 50% increase is wild. With a follow-up comment that reads, right? To play day one releases, it's now $30 a month. After 2 months, that's literally enough to own the game outright. Just canceled my sub. Microsoft is delusional. With another comment that reads, it's a bold move. Let's see how it pays off for them. Between this and the multiple console price hikes recently, I simply don't understand it when everyone is cutting back on spending as is. Gosh, this just reminds me of like a time where it felt so good to say cut the cable. And then all of a sudden, streaming is becoming so massive, so branched out, with so many little, they're almost running like little deities. And they're all trying to preach to you and try to get you to join along towards their tribe. And we all get suckered in because we all still want to have that NFL Sunday ticket, or we all still got to be involved with the NBA because now it's on Amazon Prime. But now with this, 50% increase is freaking insane. I mean, is this going to be justifiable? Will this end up being a winning strategy for Microsoft to encourage more gamers to buy physical? I don't know. I think maybe one of the first steps they're going to definitely have to do is, and they can't do it like Sony did with Spider-Man 2, drop the physical, and then all of a sudden you open up the disc binder, and all of a sudden it's just a code. You can't allow that to happen. Wow. Very innovative of Xbox, definitely during this time. You're really convincing people to join along on your side. And that's going to price so many people out. And really ironic after they literally just talked about being profitable. It's not just, worth it for casual gamers, especially since you can't get quite a few games each month for $30 in the sales. And $360 a year is nuts for a subscription service. It definitely is nuts. And it's kind of sad to see because you're only giving YouTube TV and a lot of these other companies even more ideas. We've just saw last month with Hulu and Disney Plus, they raised prices again. YouTube TV's got that like BS, lower third that was kept showing up on screen if you wanted to watch the Ryder Cup or what was it, Sunday Night Football, being like, hey, save your channels. They're trying to threaten us. And basically NBC's like, yo, listen, like YouTube TV is over here basically saying that we need to pay more fees on our carriage when we're supplying the same thing that Peacock has. And why should we have to pay YouTube TV more for offering the same thing? And so, yeah, I mean, it's just like how we saw with COVID-19. Profits got manipulated during the pandemic, and when they went up, they were never going to go down. And we're now seeing from the impact of this tariff war that President Donald Trump has started, you are now seeing a lot of these major corporations, especially in the video game space, that are utilizing this opportunity to BS you, the gamer, the consumer, into thinking it's a profit issue. A profit issue. How can they justify the everywhere Xbox when apparently $360 a year is definitely okay for them? They expect you to pay $1 a day to game everywhere. Apparently. Wow. Totally nutty. And then we also get a comment like this. This is what pushes me to cancel Game Pass. I'm done with this shit, dude. Enough of the price increases. This is batshit insane. I'm not going to pay $240 a year for Game Pass for fewer benefits or $360 a year for the same. It's just not going to happen. This plus the fact that they made an announcement yesterday that starting today, October 1st, you can no longer redeem Microsoft reward points for Game Pass Ultimate codes. But they did try to, push this whole reward system that they're really hoping that you can get very jazzed about. And they're like, yeah, you don't necessarily have to be a part of the Ultimate. When you are, let's say, a premium tier gamer, we're going to allow you the opportunity to also get up to 50,000 points globally in the store just by playing games, earning 2 times the points on purchases of games and add-ons, plus 5% back-in points on select Game Pass library titles and add-ons. Like, whoop-de-doo. I mean, you see, like, almost every 3 months that there's parents out there that are constantly trying to sue Epic Games or even Roblox for making their children addicted to playing video games. I mean, this is trying to reward you for playing their games by giving you points. You'd think that would rattle their Cobra tail. And then you can't even pay it towards the streaming service because they know that's where the market shift is going. They know that more people are looking towards catalogs of video games, or they're just going to go directly to free-to-play games. Kids don't want to pay $700 for a console. Not once in our lifetime did we ever spend $9.99 for a handheld, unless you're, I don't know, a Steam Deck player. You might have spent a lot to get a lot of memory on your little handy-dandy device, but the Steam Deck wasn't there. It wasn't there when we were young adolescents growing up in the early 2000s, right? We were on the Game Boy Advance. We were doing stuff like that. And to see that they're going to be charging so much, it's like the joke about sports arenas, like the Los Angeles Dodgers. You can't even take a family of 4 anywhere anymore. You can't even go and see the Los Angeles Lakers and get even kind of reasonable seats because everything is just so ballooned in price. And I'm a big fan of PlayStation Premium Plus. And I've spent about $160 for the full year. I'm very concerned for what's to come in the next couple of weeks when it comes to Sony. I would not be surprised if they follow suit. And a lot of this, I still blame Nintendo for. They have clearly manipulated the market with their cheesy ass cartoon graphics still that pushes on to our generation, making the nostalgia factor of, man, this is an exclusive window. Are you sure you want to join Sony and Microsoft? Don't you want to play Mario Kart? You got to pay $80 to throw a blue shell. Oh, man, gamers, make it make sense. It's just totally insane. But this is where I want to leave it off to you. Is this new Game Pass price the treat that Microsoft says it is? Or are we just getting tricked out of our money while Phil Spencer dresses up as the Grim Reaper of our bank accounts? Let me know what's good. But, man, it's been a lot of moves happening in the gaming industry, and I always love breaking it down with our fans of Rage Quit Video Game Talk Show. And I can't thank you enough for always joining me live every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, because without your support, gamers, this show would not be possible. So I'm going to do one last little shout out of the QR code. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss a live show. And for the homeboy HenricK the Wreck, who is traveling right now as we speak, I think he's in Japan right now at this time, as he was in South Korea and Japan. I know that he, too, would love for you to subscribe to his YouTube channel. So take the moment to take the screenshot and join along for the ride. And for all the gamers out there, stay up all night, play all the video games, but make sure you do your homework and get it turned in on time, and then get right back into the gaming world. For now, I will see you next week, fam. Peace.